Hey everybody, going to show you how I use my customizable Seint palette to do my whole face of makeup. So I'm going to be using the buff brush today, and you'll see it has two similarly shaped ends, both that are pretty dense in nature. The buff brush is great if you like a little bit more full coverage. So I'm going to start with my contour, and I just loaded up the smaller side of the brush. And even though I say loaded up, it really doesn't take very much product at all. And I am placing that contour on my cheekbones and a little bit below. And you can see I kind of curve it up just a little bit there just to give some extra lift. Then I'm taking the contour and I'm going around my hairline. Now, if you have a taller forehead and you want to give the illusion of it being shorter, you're gonna wanna put more contour kind of at the top of your head and bring it straight down towards your eyebrows. And if you have a wider forehead and you wanna make it appear slimmer, you're gonna focus the contour more kind of on the outer edges, like beyond your eyebrows. So next I flipped over to the bigger side of the brush and I picked up my main highlight color. This is Candlelit. And I'm just working that under and around that contour. So I love that we don't have to use layers with this makeup. Small coffee break, and then I'm back to it. So I'm grabbing a different highlight color called Mango to color correct some of those purpley blue tones under my eyes. If dark circles or blemishes or age spots or brown spots are something that you struggle with, definitely let me know that and I can recommend a color corrector for you. Okay, this is the blend brush and I really love it for doing my under eye. You could also use the blush and bronzer brush for the same thing. I just like having a fluffier brush for my under eye area because that skin is so fragile, and also anytime I'm putting one color on top of another, I wanna make sure I'm barely using any product. So like I said, this is the fluffy end of the blend brush and I'm barely using any of my brightening color Linen, and I'm just fluffing that gently on top of that Mango and blending it out. I love the small end of the blend brush also for nose contour. So you'll see I just picked up some contour and I am putting that on the sides of my nose, kind of where that bone starts to turn, and I'm just trying to keep those lines as straight and close together as possible, and then I just kind of connect it almost underneath the tip of my nose. And then sometimes I like to throw a little bit of contour under my bottom lip because I feel like it just gives it a little extra volume. Remember, all that we're doing with contour is kind of creating some shadow. So once you've done your nose contour, you want to run your brightener down the center or the bridge of your nose just to really brighten that up. And then I love the blend brush because, like the name says, it's great for blending. Next, I grabbed the blush and bronzer and picked up my Bella. I have it right next to an illuminator called Glow just to add a little extra sparkle, but you totally don't have to do that. It's up to you. You could also apply your Bella bronzer with the blend brush if you don't have the blush and bronzer yet. Okay, so next we're going to use that same brush I had, the blush and bronzer, and I'm just tapping on one of my favorite lip and cheek colors. This is Plum, and it is a beautiful matte sort of mauve purpley color, and it's super pretty in the fall and winter, but you can wear it seriously anytime. And then after I've applied that kind of to the apples of my cheeks, I just flip over and blend it all out a little bit. Okay, on to eyes. So with the line brush, it has a spoolie on one end and then a dense end with angled bristles. So I like to use Basic and Trust eyeshadows, are working really well for my eyebrow color right now. And I kind of start by just stamping it right where my eyebrow should start, which is equal with that inner corner of my eye. And then when I go back into the color, the first place I put my brush down is right where I want the arch to be, because in theory, we want the darkest part of our brows to be where they start and then the point of the arch. So just as soon as I go into my color, that's where I start. And then I just use the spoolie end just to blend everything out so that it maintains a natural look. You can use the line brush to kind of gauge where your arch should be and where your brow should finish. If you saw there, I put the brush on the outer part of my nose and tipped it out so that it touched the outer corner of my eye. That's where your brow should end. And then if you put your line brush next to your nose and it goes through your center of your pupil, that's where you want your arch to be. So I'm doing the same thing on the other side. If you see in my compact, there is what looks like a clear tin. That is our brow wax. Brow wax is something that I had never used before, but it is a phenomenal product. It's kind of like stay spray for your brows. It just helps hold them in place and helps you get that perfect feathery brow look that is super in right now. So definitely grab that if you don't have it yet. You just work it into the spoolie like I did right there, and then just feather your brows up and they will stay in place all day. Okay, now we're switching to eyeshadow, and I'm going to show you guys this really pretty, cool purple look. So I grabbed the eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to use the same color I used for my brow, Basic, to kind of start off this eye look. And I'm just kind of working that into the crease and above. Sometimes we call this a transition color, but my eyes are pretty hooded, so I have to take this color up pretty daggum close to my brows in order for this color to actually show up. Just a little more brow work there. Okay, so you'll notice when I do my eyeshadow, I kind of follow a similar pattern. So I'll put down that first transition color, which I use Basic, and now I'm using another color called Gigi, and I'm working this not quite as high as I did that first color. So I'm in the crease and a little bit, almost making it a little bit like a C, but I'm not taking it all over my entire lid. So you'll see how that kind of builds dimension in the outer corner of my eye while keeping the lid and the inner corner of my eye super bright. Now I'm flipping my brush over to the dense end, and I'm grabbing a darker shade. This is Amethyst, and you can see how it really is adding dimension to my eyelid. So the same way that we contour our face, we're basically following those same principles with our eyeshadow look. So putting the darker colors on the outer edge and then keeping the center of our face or the center of our eye bright. This eyeshadow brush is seriously the bomb because you can flip back and forth between the two sides, and the fluffy end is going to blend everything out beautifully, so you don't have to be like a professional by any means to make this work for you. So now I'm using that same darker color and the small end of the brush, and I'm just pulling that along my bottom lash line just to kind of smoke it out a little bit. And then I love, love, love using our powder illuminators as an eyeshadow. So this is Glamazing, and I'm using my finger just to pat that on to the center of my lid and inner corner. So that's just really enhancing that brightness, keeping it nice and light, which is a really great contrast to that outer part of my eye. And I like to put a little bit under my brow too. This is Angel Cream Illuminator, which is one of my absolute favorites that I'm just tapping on the high points of my cheeks, tip of my nose, and then now I'm going to do a quick lip look using the multitasker brush in those same shades that I already have in my compact. So using my contour just to line my lips a little bit. This helps keep my color in place, and I think it just gives my lips a little more definition. And I'm just using the paddle end of that brush, but you can use the small end too. You can always use your finger and pat around that liner to soften it up. Now this is Plum again. Same color that I used on my cheeks. Such a pretty lip shade. Okay, so you don't want to forget to put a little bit of illuminator or a little bit of brightener on your Cupid's bow, and you can always clean up around your lips with either of your highlight shades. So that's why we talk about this cream being so forgiving, because until you set it, you can really do whatever you need to get it exactly how you want without worrying about having to like wash your whole face off, because how annoying is that? Okay, so I love using a glossy lip and cheek over top of a matte one on my lips. So Plum is a matte lip and cheek color, so I put it down first, and then I used Sadie, which is a glossier lip and cheek, over top, and then I grabbed that Angel Illuminator and put it in my Cupid's bow and in the center of my bottom lip. So that's just adding an extra bit of sparkle and brightness to your lips and some more definition. And I think that just really speaks to the versatility of the products, that you can use the illuminators for eyeshadow if it's a powder, or lip gloss if it's a cream. So now I'm just doing my mascara. You can use whatever mascara you prefer. This is called Whiplash by the brand Ever, and it's a pretty good one. I swear sometimes I feel like this step takes the longest of my whole face, especially when your eyelashes are translucent like mine, it is a crucial step. Okay, so wrapping up this look here, I am loving this kind of purpley inspired look, purpley pink. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please reach out, send me a message, or fill out the color match form in the description, and I can get you all set up with your custom colors. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this one.